Hey there, this is Mark Gruber along with my girlfriend Derek Cuntley from America's Really Old Stories. You are about to hear the most listened to exclusively JFK assassination podcast, and one of my favorites, the Lone Gunman podcast. Now, here's Rob and Joe.
Oh, you gotta give him that hawk too and spit on that thing.
Section 107 of the Fair Use Act of 1976 provides protection to use copyrighted material for research, analysis, education, and commentary purposes. We here at Loose Moose Productions reserve that right. Now, on with the show. Here's Joe B. and the Triple B. Hey, Aunt Udine, how's things in Texas?
Everything is going to hell down here in Texas.
Hands on Triple B and Joe B. Joe B and the Triple B, baby. Triple B and Joe B. Rock on and Joe Morelli. Triple B and Joe B. Joe B and Triple B, baby. Triple B and Joe B. Rock on and Joe Morelli. We're coming in. Oh, and it's seeking the truth about JFK. Here's the Lone Gunman podcast. And here we go.
And here we go.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Rob's not muted at the beginning of this one like he has been for the past two, so we're already off to a good start. What's up, and welcome to our limited Hangout 4th of July Extravaganza, episode number 297, where we answer your tough JFK questions. But before we get to that, if you have some in your pocket that you'd like us to definitely read on the air, email them real quick to thelonegunmanpodcast@gmail.com, and we'll definitely get to them. Because if you put them in the chat, we may miss them. I can't guarantee we will be able to keep up and keep track of everything, because it's going to be just a little bit before we actually get there. So in the meantime, shoot an email. That way we can definitely stay on top of things. But anyway, welcome to the show, Joe. I like your shirt, buddy.
Thank you. Rolling Stones with an American.
Are you passing it out this evening?
a little dosing on the 4th of July?
Yes. The weekend. Let's start the weekend off right.
Speaking of, I'm doing great. I had a solid 4th of July, but I mentioned this to you like a few days ago, Rob. 15 years ago, on 4th of July, I was at the Rothbury Music Festival in Michigan, and it was The Dead on 4th of July, like sunset set into the night, headliner, of course. And it was everyone. You know, there's now a lot of people, not everyone plays with everyone all the time, but it was amazing. It was my best 4th of July experience ever. It's like Grateful Dead, Dosen, America, dancing, good music, right?
Reminds me of 1994. I'm pretty sure it was in July. I think it was right after the 4th, and it was back-to-back weekends. I got to see Pink Floyd one weekend, and then the Grateful Dead the next weekend.
Wow.
Yeah.
With Plant and the other guy I'm blanking on. They don't play together anymore. They refuse to. The other singer, David Gilmour. I'm sorry. David Gilmour.
Roger Waters.
And Roger Waters. Did I say Robert Plant?
Yeah, you probably did. Yeah, well, Waters was not with them in 94. It was just Gilmour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. That sounds like an epic weekend.
It was. We call that Rob's Lost Week. Kind of like John Lennon's Lost Weekend.
Yeah.
It might have spilled over into 2 weeks. Lot of lysergic acid consumed that week, but I probably didn't say that right. I think I did, but maybe I didn't. I think did I miss a D? I think I missed the D.
I think so.
I don't know. Anyway, I digress.
Yeah.
So, Joe, you got some news to start off the show with, my friend?
Well, let's say hi to some people first. I want to thank John, if you don't mind, who comes
Fine,
up.
if you must.
You
No,
know,
I love John.
John, Loose Moose Crew, CIA code names, AM Scar and AM Vape.
Just for you, Johnny boy. I feel like my mic's hot. Is my mic loud as hell, or is it okay? People in the chat.
Yeah, let us know. Hello, Jack. I agree it doesn't. Hello, Colleen. Trey, Tiny Dancer. I'm trying to go down. We got a lot of people here tonight.
What's a party, Joe?
Party. Paul,
It's a
how are you?
party. It's fine. Thank you, Peter.
Hello, Josh. Bungled, of course. How are you, sir? Claude and then Audine. Let's see. Sally's in the house tonight
Hello, Sally.
from across the pond.
Cheerio.
So it has to be, they're like, what, 5 hours ahead? 6 hours?
They're 5 hours ahead.
So it's midnight.
So she's a trooper. She joins us at midnight over there all the time. So
I love it.
thanks for staying up.
Yes.
We appreciate it, Sally.
Fran, I forgot your name now. Hello?
Even though we're celebrating our independence from your horrible country. Tyrannical.
There are a lot of those memes going down.
I know. I always thought they hated us over there. I don't know. Maybe they don't.
Mike,
I know we butcher the hell out of your language.
I love a good, like, sexy British accent, though. I'm not going to lie.
What's up, Greg? I see you out there, my friend.
Yes.
I know. Greg likes those concerts as well.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Well, that was a long time ago for us.
Greg's old deadhead, fish head.
Wait, you said 94. Hi, Peter. So that was, what, 30 years ago?
Yeah. I'm old, Joe. What do you want from me?
No, it's fine. It's interesting. It's exactly double my 15 years from the show I was talking about, 15 and 30.
Yeah. They were all still alive when I saw them. Barely.
Hello.
Jerry had another year in him. That's about it.
Oh, right, because he didn't die till like 95 or 6?
95, I think.
For some reason, I thought he was not around then, but you got to see Jerry. That's pretty epic.
Yeah.
Mr. Timothy Ryan, hello. Old Slacker, we're almost done. And I think I got everyone. Thank you, Jack.
Trey.
I believe I said hi to Trey already.
Jack. Thank you, Jack. I know, but I didn't say hi to Trey. I was just saying hi to Trey.
Oh, okay. All right, so we are good.
Trey's our friend from the dark side, which we're going to talk about here in a second. We're going
Yes.
to take a proper shite on them here in a second. Don't you worry. Because they did it again. Oops. They Britney Speared it. Oops. They did it again.
Yeah.
You think they learn, but they don't.
But before that, if you don't mind, Rob, I got a special delivery that came today.
Oh, SD. Special Delivery Jones. What is that I see back there?
That is Silk
Ooh.
City, a little display here. Let's see.
Hi, Paul. I see you, buddy.
Jeff at
Keep on
Silk
trucking
City.
down the road, my friend.
Jeff at Silk City was nice enough to send me something that came today, and I saved some of my.
Well, we do pimp his wares for him, so much obliged. He's done the same for me in the past, and I love Silk City hot sauce.
Yes,
Yep. Killer hot.
Killer hot. I have never tried it.
What does the fine print there, Joseph, say?
An ecstasy is so dangerous, it should be forbidden.
Ooh, that sounds like something Jack Ruby would have concocted.
Yes. So I'm actually eating Mexican tonight, or some tacos. This is a quesadilla, and I'm going to try it. Ooh, wow. This is going to be
Oh,
bad.
you're screwed. You are so
It's
screwed.
going to be bad. So if I have to go, like, leave the camera for a second, you guys know.
Oh, yeah. Joe's eating a taco live on the air with Silk City slathered all over that sumbitch.
I haven't tried this flavor. Wow. It has a nice kick, and it kind of like an after kick. You know how some sauces do that?
Yeah. That one in particular there is also very good to add to nacho cheese dip. Throw some salsa in there and then some hot sauce on it. Run it through the microwave for about 3 minutes. Stir it all together. You got some hot nacho cheese sauce. Oh, my God.
Or some guac.
Woo.
All right. So
Guac.
Silk City, Gunman 20. Is that it, Rob?
No, just Gunman.
Just Gunman
Just Gunman.
for 20% off.
Yes,
Silk
your
City
entire
orders.
order.
Yes. And they're
And they
great
ship
guys.
overseas.
Just great guys. They love the show. So thank you.
And
again
also, let's mention, since we're hawking here, assassinationconference.com. That's JFK Lancer. If you're going to Dallas this year, get your tickets on the website. Use our code Gunman10 to save 10% off of any ticket. That is an in-person ticket. That is a dinner ticket or any combination of the two ticket, or a see it in person and take it home with you and stream it ticket. Or if you just want to stream it ticket while you sit at home, you can still save 10%. And why wouldn't you? Use our code Gunman10 if you're going to Lancer or you're going to stream Lancer this year. There's going to be some big names speaking. Yeah, get them early because they will sell out. They sold out last year. So get them while they're hot.
For sure. I think it's like $20 off if you buy the in-person ticket, maybe like 10 or 15. I haven't looked at the prices, but at 10%, that's nothing, you know. You could buy a beer or a book at one of the tables outside the conference room with the savings you get from our code. So, yo, did you say hi to PSV Odyssey?
I did. I said, hi, Paul. Keep on trucking down the road, my friend.
That was that. Okay.
We love Paul. Paul's listening when he's driving his big rig across the country somewhere. And if he's not, he's probably sitting at home, chilling like a villain, smoking a big fat cigar and drinking some fine bourbon whiskey, Joseph.
Oh, I respect that.
Yeah.
I have a margarita that is frozen that I got.
That's scary. Sorry,
Bro,
excuse me.
It's like 80% humidity, 80% like dew point here.
You're drinking a frozen margarita.
It was easy to access. I was
That's
there.
what she said.
Yeah, I was there, and I was like, hey, screw it.
I'm just playing with you. Who doesn't love a alcoholic Slurpee on a hot day?
Exactly.
Right. Also, Joe, did you get something in the mail recently?
A lot of presents coming this week.
Joe is the man. People love him. If you would like to send Joe a present, just send us an email. We'll give you his address. Oh, hey.
Where was Skip?
I know that book. I have that book. That is an excellent book. In fact, I did see John in the comments a couple weeks ago, which means he was watching.
Mm-hmm.
I think his show is finally over 1,000 listens.
Yeah.
And hopefully we're going to have him back on soon because he's found a lot of new information.
Yes, sir.
About old Skip Hall. But yeah, that's nice. He sent you an autographed copy. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I'm going to try to start a thing where, like, when we have guests and they have a book, I order it and they could, like, sign it or whatever. And yes, when I was emailing with him, because I think after that show he popped in on, I actually didn't see it. I was maybe talking, but he emailed me and was like, oh, we had emailed back and forth, but I had not PayPal'd him. Like, we got sidetracked, and he's like, did you ever get your copy? I was like, no, thank you for reminding me. So he goes, to Joe, in quotation marks, Joe B. Thank you so very much for having me on your outstanding show and podcast. Truly enjoyed our conversation and mutual desire to seek the truth. And yes, Rob, he's continuing to research. He was like, when we emailed months ago, he was like, "Oh, I got this minor like detail wrong. I want to like, he seeks the truth, which I really appreciate it, and he's continued to research, and he has some new information on Hall since he came on last, and just appreciates our show's support and looks forward to future conversations. Best wishes to you and your family, John Lindback." So,
Well, that was awfully nice of him to do that for you. Did you get the email I forwarded? Total aside, people. Did you get the email I forwarded to you
yes.
from one of our awesome listeners, Bloody
Yes,
Benders?
That's a great segue.
Did you get that?
I did.
Okay, I just want to make sure you got the email because he's going to be nice enough to send us a copy of his book, which is awesome. Even though it has nothing to do with JFK, we love some true crime around here, so when hell comes to play, we're down. We're in.
Yes.
And yes, Paul, I know I don't drink, but I'll drink some seltzer water with you. Okay? I'll drink some seltzer water. You and Joe can get stymied.
Hi, Garden and Guns. How are you? Nice to see you. And thank you, Gregory.
Greg in the clutch. Appreciate it, brother.
So I got a lot of good presents this week.
Sounds like it. My
And I
God.
can't wait to read this. I just want to show one thing real quick before we get into his email, if you want. I didn't realize how much Lauren Hall looks like D.B. Cooper.
Looks like DB Cooper. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could easily see how that sketch could be him.
Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it?
It is. And hey, he was crazy enough to do it. I don't have my mind made up, and that's why I'm going to read the book and report back.
Yeah, it's a great book. Also, before we get into some other things, on Quick Hits this past weekend, which is of course not a visual medium, it's audio only. So I wanted to show this picture that a emailer, I don't have the email handy, sent me, or I would give him total credit. So everybody knows who this is, right? Joe, who's that?
That is Mr. Lauren Hall, sir.
Yeah, we just had the book, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Lauren Hall, and somebody out there was watching a Nat Geo special and saw an angry-looking Cuban man in Dealey Plaza that he theorized could possibly be Lauren Hall in Dealey Plaza. Now, I don't think it was, and Doug doesn't think it was Lauren Hall. As you'll see in a minute, we'll see a side-by-side comparison, but here is the picture of the angry Cuban in Dealey Plaza. Boom.
What?
So the question is, who is this guy? Does anybody have any idea? Does he look familiar to anybody out there? Here is the side-by-side comparison. Boom. Like from the nose down, maybe. But from the nose up, no. Nose to hairline. I mean, even the hairline's the same.
The hairline is the same.
But yeah, the eyebrows, the brows, the eyes.
The facial creases.
Yeah, the face lines.
Although he could be kind of... Well, it doesn't look like he's smirking, really. So.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's him. But, again, it begs the question is, who is the angry Cuban in Dealey Plaza that day? He doesn't look happy to be there.
So, Rob, where did this... Is this a zoomed-in picture? And where is he standing?
He's standing on the grassy knoll. I don't, like I said, I don't know. I've never seen the original. I mean, I might have seen the Nat Geo special, but I don't recall seeing this dude in it. It might have been one of them split second things where you got to pause it at the right time, and
Yeah.
you know they cut from stuff to stuff.
Oh, it was a video screenshot.
Yeah, it was from a TV show,
Okay.
the Nat Geo special.
That makes sense. Yeah, I just to say what Jack says. Hall doesn't look as Latin as that guy. Yeah.
Right.
And again, we're kind of not saying it is, but then who is he? Definitely most I don't know, say definitely most likely a Cuban exile. You'd have to go through, some AMOTs where you could find pictures if you can, and other people and JOEB, and maybe, I mean, it'd be interesting, and maybe someone here will know.
Yeah, maybe you've come across in your Cuban people research, this guy looks familiar, and maybe we can figure out who he is. And if we do, and we know who he is, then that might lead us somewhere else. So who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But definitely a good supposition there. But I wanted to show that here in case you listen to quick hits and you're like, God damn, I can't see anything. I wish I could see this. So we wanted to show you here.
Yeah.
So, shall we visit the dark side for a minute? Speaking of quick hits.
Yep.
Not on this. Was it on this most recent show that we did, or was it the one that before that?
That what? The car?
Yeah.
No, this week.
It was this week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I believe our quick hits came out Saturday.
Sunday.
Wait, when? Sunday morning?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it actually was. Remember, Doug didn't hit the button right. It was delayed until like noon.
Yeah, but it came out Sunday.
Right, Sunday at noon. I'm saying it's usually
Yeah.
6 a.m. I'm up
Yeah.
at 6 a.m. waiting for quick hits, guys.
So on that show, one of Doug's topics, one of his quick hits, was a document that he came across about Watergate burglar Eugenio Martinez's car, and of Jake Esterline, who was, I think, the head of JOEB at the time Watergate was going down. Anyway, somebody had sent Esterline a message that maybe they should go get Eugenio Martinez's car before the FBI finds it, because there's a bunch of incriminating documents in the car. So basically, Esterline calls the FBI and says, hey, here's where the car is. Here's who it belongs to. You might want to check it out. So they basically hung him out to dry.
Yes, sir.
And Doug found the document, the actual document. I've seen the document.
And the unredacted version too, I think, right?
Yeah. Yep.
By doing the riff search. Yeah.
So, for those of you who watch The Dark Side this week, Joe, and for those who haven't, here you go. Here's what they talked about this week. I find it somewhat odd.
Yep. 1 second. Of course, it is relating to Eugenio Martinez and his car.
Much of Liddy's gemstone operation. There was a gemstone file, a gemstone diary, which will end up being in the car of Eugenio Martinez in the parking lot at Miami Airport. He has a Dodge Dart 440 sitting in the parking lot, and in that car, from the jail, he will contact his wife, and his wife will be contacted via Barker's wife. I think her name was Kara Barker, who calls up Martinez's wife to get that car out of the parking lot at Miami International Airport. Why? Because it's got all kinds of cockamamie things in that car. And in that car is his notebook. Is that his wife? Is that Barker's wife there? Yeah. I don't have photos of I think Martinez had 4 wives or 3.5 wives. I'm not sure. So I don't have a photo. I've never seen a photo.
Not
of that.
many photos on him anywhere.
Right. Yeah, and that's intentional because he.
All right, Joe, get these goofballs off the damn screen.
At the.
That's enough. But you see, how funny is it? How freaking randomly funny is it that out of everything that you can talk about concerning the JFK assassination and Watergate, it just happens to be something that we talked about this past weekend.
2 days before.
And notice what they did not have. The document. Just saying.
Yeah.
If you needed further proof that these guys are a joke, there you go. You're welcome. Happy 4th of July. So.
And to add to your point, Rob, I listened to both, and I had never heard of this document before. And the analysis that you guys did on the document and talking about the interagency conflict, and then I heard this. And I mean, listen, it's a story, right? That's what's their title. So I think we are document researchers, and even a quick hits isn't a video podcast. You guys did a great job going through that document. It was really interesting, and it was just funny that it showed up 2 days later.
Imagine that.
Probably a coincidence, but it's still weird.
I doubt it. Dude, this is like John T. Martin level of coincidence. I mean, think about it. Think of every aspect of the JFK assassination and Watergate put together. This is what you talk about? This randomness of Eugenio Martinez's car and the files in it? I mean, come on, man. They didn't even have the facts right. It's not about somebody's wife calling somebody else's wife. No, it was Jake Esterline. It dimed him out. Because it's in the document. If you had it, you know that. Anyways. Enough of that horse nonsense.
Happy 4th of July to them.
No, James, that's hashtag GFY. You'll just have to watch the show over again when we're done, sir. But don't worry. Yeah. You haven't missed much.
It's a quick hits type of style, so you can go back and...
We're getting to the good stuff.
Yeah.
You know, we're getting there.
Yep. Oh, and by the way, Rob...
Mike... What?
Congrats on reaching the 1 million downloads on Spreaker for the Lone Gunman.
He's probably backed up for a few days, Mike. He probably sat on that since he listened to Quick Hits. And then, you know, his tummy got a little tight, started hurting a little bit because he's nervous because he thinks Gruber's going to screw it all up. That's probably what's going on there, Mike.
No, he's just like, oh, nice. He just...
Dark side, gonna dark side. Yes, they are, Trey.
So, but yeah, congrats on that. The Millie on Spreaker. It's pretty cool, and most of that was BJ before Joe. That's why I'm complimenting him and not myself.
Oh, big DC is in the house. So to clear it up, because Doug had the document, the wife contacted a covert ops cohort of Martinez, who hit up Jake Esterline, who then let the CIA know, or let the FBI know where to go and get this car, and said documents that could have been very, very hurtful to the CIA from the early 60s. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you, DuGray, for checking in and setting us straight there, sir.
Yeah.
All right, Joe, you ready to get into some emails, my friend? Are we there yet, or
Well,
anything
do you
else?
want to do the fun question or later?
We can do the fun question.
Okay. All right.
We'll do it
so
in the chat. We'll do answers in the chat.
Yeah. All right,
Thank you,
guys.
Tiny and Sally. I see them. We're going to get to them, I promise.
I didn't see.
And yes, 2F and True. Your boy did an episode, BJ, before Joe, the story of Robert Easterling, not Esterline. So, yes.
Well, he
It
came
is
up
a-
in our VT Lee letter and the first, the possible.
Yeah, the first fracas, yeah.
And that came up like 2 or 3 weeks ago, actually, on here, I believe. Yeah, so I thought since it's kind of like a fun 4th of July party, I'm going to ask you a fun, hypothetical type of question. Ain't the first time it's happened. Yep. Did a Scrouty? Yep, we did.
Yeah.
And you can't forget the 14-minute gap either, right? That whole situation.
Dude, that's why we're one of the most listened to. You think we're lying when we say it. It feels like I'm lying when I say it. That we're one of the most listened to JFK assassination related podcasts in the world. You just congratulated me on over 1 million hits. Over 1 million downloads just on this The Lone Gunman podcast. Not including quick hits.
Yep.
Not including YouTube. So, do the math, people. What's up,
Yep.
Frosty? Stay frosty out there. Don't be melting. I know it's hot as hell outside.
Stay frosty. That's a
Stay frosty, my friend. It just did, Frosty, this past weekend. That's what we're talking about here, brother.
Yes.
Go check it out.
We love when Doug comes in the chat, and
Yeah.
he might have had some foreknowledge. But okay, so my fun question. I want you guys to pay attention to this. If you were a time traveler, and hold on, Rob, we gotta play the audio.
Hold on.
If you
Hold
were
on.
a time, I'll finish this.
Hold on. Okay. You want to
Take
play
some-
it, or you gonna?
No, to play it.
Okay.
If you were a time traveler today, and you could spend 5 minutes in any event time period of the JFK assassination, before or aftermath, you can't stop anything. You're just observing. Where would you go in your 5 minutes, and what would you want to observe? So, you got to think, do you want to be behind the knoll? Do you want to be on the 6th floor? Do you want to be on the Air Force One flight back to DC? Do you want to be in Nolan's?
I think I answered this on Quick Hits a couple shows ago. But here's my answer. And then you can give yours, and then we'll see what the people are saying.
Sure.
So,
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Here's what your boy, Big Bad Bob, would do. I'm posting up on Elm Street, right beside Apron Man. Okay? He's on the other side of the street, kind of right across from the dark complected man and an umbrella man, but on the opposite side of the street.
Right.
From there, you have a pretty good view of the 6th floor window. Also from there, you got a pretty good view of the grassy knoll, right?
Yeah.
So, shots ring out. I am immediately running into this. If I don't see anything, like if I don't look up in the window and I see Oswald up there shooting, then I'm going to immediately run to the ground. If I don't see anything on the 6th floor window, I'm going to immediately run to the school book depository. And I'm going to the back staircase, and I'm going up as fast as I can.
Through the front door?
You can't interact with anybody. They don't know you're there. All you can just observe. Right? So that's what I would do. I would make as much out of that 5 minutes as possible. I would try to find out everything I could in that 5 minutes.
That's pretty good. That gives you a lot of. You're making a lot out of your 5 minutes, right?
Hey,
based on what happens, you could then go A or B. And I'm going to give mine, Rob, but I want to wait a minute and we'll look at some of the comments and then I'll finish.
All right. Well, Jack says he would be on the roof of the Dow Tex building, which is a pretty good vantage point as well, because you're actually going to be behind the depository. You can see right into the 6th floor window, right? If you're on the roof of the Dow Tex.
Oh, okay.
From the side, you can see, because he's in the corner. Somebody's allegedly in the corner. So you can see right through that window and see if anybody's in that corner. And then you can back up like 15 feet, run, jump across Houston Street to the roof of School Book Depository.
Yeah.
I mean, we're in a fantasy land here, folks. What do you?
Yeah, you could see maybe Shelley and Lovelady by the door, or elevator. Maybe Victoria Adams. Hey, Roger, what's up, buddy?
Lee Henry Oswald in the house.
You could just be chilling on the back steps of the TSPD, smoking a bogey, just seeing who goes up or down.
Garden and Guns is saying the Dallas County Records Building. It's a good one, too. Allegedly, someone shot from up there. So that would definitely let you know. And yeah, like James says, so if I'm standing beside Apron Man, Babushka Lady is going to be like 10 feet to my left. So I would definitely run over and peek in her babushka real quick. And make sure it's not Beverly Oliver.
It's not.
I know. I'm just saying. Trey has a good one.
Yeah.
At the Carousel Club with Jada. She wouldn't have been at the Carousel Club. She was in her red convertible Cadillac trying to get the hell out of Dallas that day. So you could be in the back seat of the Cadillac. Frosty would want to be in Bethesda in the autopsy room. That is a good spot to be as well, Joe.
Well,
Josh.
I know. I was about to highlight that.
On Agent Kellerman's lap. Facing him. Like cowboy style. So you can see the back. But you want to be on his lap, but facing him. That's awesome. You better watch out for stray bullets if you want to go there. Let's see where Big Mike would go. Behind the grassy knoll fence for that 5 minutes.
Okay.
That's a good spot too. You can't argue with that either.
Yeah. That's yeah. And who did Bungled? Did we say this yet? I'm sorry. What the Babushka Lady Paula Jane says. Okay. Back of Tippett's car.
That's a good one too.
That's a good one too.
You'd have a front row seat for that.
So, let's see.
Now, Joe, let me tell you what I did.
Okay.
You'll like this. So I found one of these. I just came across it when I'm scrolling through YouTube. One of these the 5 most intriguing mysteries of the JFK assassination, type of thing.
One
Where
of
they
those,
go
yeah.
through, like, these, who was the babushka lady?
It was the
This type of
tramp.
thing. Yeah. So I started commenting randomly. And
was
I
live?
see, huh?
It was live?
No.
Oh, okay.
But this guy right here, Chris, comes from over there because I remember he commented Private Hudson. No idea what that means, unless we're talking about aliens.
I don't either.
I don't know. Clarify yourself, Chris called.
Yeah.
Are we talking about aliens here? The movie?
Doug.
Doug doesn't remember.
Sorry. Oh, to this question, if you did it before?
Yeah, he gave his answer. But he doesn't remember what he said.
I can guess. I think I can guess with decent accuracy. Probably.
On the curb between Umbrella Man and Dark Complected Man.
Yeah, exactly. Just sitting there next to Fidel.
Yeah.
Hargraves being like, should I blow up the bomb?
Pull that radio out, you son bitch. I know you got one back there.
Yeah, but I never knew that he allegedly went up the knoll a little bit to talk to these 3 like shady people at some point. So we were talking about the timeline at the end of last episode.
On the ramp to stop Jack Ruby. Hey, that's a good one too.
That's a good one too.
I came across an interview with somebody, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember where it was. I should have done my due diligence and kept it, but I did not. But it states in there that from an eyewitness who was in the basement that Jack Ruby posed as a newsman's helper to get down the ramp.
Maybe. He
And
might
that's from
not
somebody who knew
what
was going on.
Okay. Very possible. I mean, he did the same thing as the news reporter the night before. I don't know if he got in with that excuse, but that'd be a good one too. Because if Oswald lives, then you'd think a lot more answers come out. Although he probably just gets whacked in the Dallas jail at some point, shivved or something. So I'm not. Okay.
The trademark luncheon that Kennedy unfortunately never had a chance to attend had a 2,600 person guest list. How many Martins had an invite to the trademark? You figure? At least 5.
I was about to say 3 or 4 at least.
By that size of a guest list, there had to be at least 5 or 6 Martins there.
Yeah, we could have
Or
found some more.
Shizzy.
We could have found some more there, but all right. So I'm been going back and forth with this. This is gonna be funny.
Yeah, I know Emmett Hudson, but who the hell's Private Hudson? I don't know. Where'd this guy go? Chris, where'd you go? And then I was thinking it might have been the guy that got accidentally shot overseas in Oswald's platoon mysteriously, but then I was like, that wasn't his name. It wasn't Private Hudson, it was something else.
It wasn't like Dinkle or something, right? No, that's someone else. Paula, with a great memory here, Paula Jane. Doug said he'd be on top of the records building because of the view. I've been binging the old podcasts.
Yes, because of the 30-06 shell that was found up there.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
So Rob, I'm like torn on where I would be.
You're Natalie and Bruglia this evening?
Yeah. I would either want to be at the fracas in New Orleans, because then I would be able to identify John T. Martin, and see how fake the fight really was. I think.
And who else was with Oswald?
Yeah, exactly. Right. Exactly. Was it Beckham? Was it, who knows? And I think that'd be interesting. Or I'd be in the Willard Hotel.
In the closet?
In the closet with a little peephole, looking at James Herbert Martin get it in with Marina.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Woo! We're in the back seat of one of those long cemetery rides.
Yeah.
Getting tailed by the Secret Service and
Well, I'd want to be like Nada. I want
watch
to be
Marina
present.
falling asleep in his lap.
Yeah. And I'd wake her up and be like, don't go to sleep yet. You got one more. Wow.
You
Wow.
dirty dog, you.
Wow. Sorry. You know my two had to be Martin related in some way. And if I know you already got it down in Dealey, those would be my answers, you know?
All right, hold on.
Time traveling together.
Hold on, we got some insight here. TD coming through. Private Hudson was only one crew of the 112th Army in Dealey Plaza. Private Hudson. Where was he?
I'm not familiar with this. Well, maybe I'll have to look into this in the future, Rob.
Oh, it's getting spicy in the chat. I love it. Easy, Tiny. He might. Let's see. You ready to get some of these emails, Joe? You're muted, donk.
Sorry, let's do it. Rob,
Okay.
we're at 47 minutes, just in case you didn't know.
Yeah, I see the clock right up there in the corner. Thanks, Joe, for reminding me.
Welcome.
Hold on. Let me see. Let me see something here. We're missing something, Joe. We're missing something. And I don't know where it went, but we're going to get it back. There it is.
Yep.
Okay.
Cuban embassy, zippity doodah says, in Mexico City. And that might be a good, if you want to talk about the Mexico City thing, now or after you finish what you're going to talk about.
Yeah, we'll hit on that later
Okay.
before we get off. So I know I have a few listeners that email me on a regular basis so much that I can't ever get back to many of them, Uncle Dave being one. But I love it because he sends me nuggets, right? Just sends me nuggets. Things to watch, things to share with Doug, things related to what we talk about here on the show. Tiny has some great insight into all kinds of stuff going on as well. But let's start off with one of Uncle Dave's. Well, and we'll go ahead and address it now since he's asking. So Uncle Dave says, so did the JFK theorists come up with some wiretap tapes? Well, the answer is he did. Yes. And he has at least 5 or 6 of them up over his channel. That's the JFK theorist.
Yep.
But fair warning, I haven't heard any English on any of them yet. So unless you know Spanish, like really good, because they speak very fast, rapido, you're not going to know what they're saying. So,
Or Russian.
and I think so far the only ones he has up right now are from December 1st of 1963, which is not exactly the date we're looking for. You know what I mean? These
Yep.
are not the droids you were looking for.
Yep. Well, I was messaging with Mr. Alex.
Be right back, Joe. Hold on.
Sure. I'm just going to read some of what I talked about. So I was messaging with Mr. Alex today because I caught his live when he made the announcement of that he has come into possession of 193 wiretap tapes from the Russian and Cuban embassy in 1963. He mentioned there's some from 11/22/63, which would be very interesting. Rob mentioned one was in December 1st, or maybe a couple of the ones he posted today. I don't know the range, hoping they go back to September and October. That would be fascinating just to hear the back and forth of the chaos, which was Oswald visiting the Russian and Cuban embassy. And, that's one of the most complicated areas of the case by far. And it's really cool that this is coming out now. He didn't say his source. It was an agreement with his source to not tell him, but I believe it was some help from Dennis Morissette, who was involved in helping Alex as well. And within the next month or two, he is going to put them all out there. And he wanted me to ask the Lone Gunman audience if anyone is really fluent in Spanish or really fluent in Russian, and you would like to help out in terms of transcribing and translating some of these tapes, he would be grateful, and I think you would even be compensated. It's not figured out yet, but I'm not sure if we have any Russian listeners, Rob. But
2 cents a word.
Yeah.
That's what you get.
He said there was 193 tapes, and he sent a screenshot to me. Someone transcribed some of the Spanish part, and I guess something says Jose Antonio Garcia is coming down from Cuba. Let me see if he's around. I don't know that name. Just very interesting. And I don't think this was ever released before, Rob. Was it? Portions, maybe? Not 193 tapes.
Again, we're looking for September, October 63, not December 1st or not 64. I mean, I don't know what that would help.
Was there some 64? I mean,
will he be the man to do it, Tiny, since he is Hispanic?
Yeah, no comment. But it would be interesting, and I don't think there was 193 videos or audios, and they're like 45 minutes long. It's going to be a lot of work. But if anyone is fluent in those languages, he wanted me to throw that out there, and he'll be releasing some on his YouTube channel, the JFK Theorist. And it's kind of cool that's coming out, right? I think it's cool. I like it.
Yeah, it's always cool, to see something new come out with some potential. I just hope, not wading down the long, lonely river on this one. But like I said, the pertinent dates are what I would look out for. Like I said, he doesn't have them all up yet. But yeah, help him out if you can. If you are bilingual.
Yep. Please do.
Bilingual. Okay. Joe, let's get to our next email. And sorry, I had to let the cat out the back door. It's not a euphemism for anything. People, don't get crazy.
Get your mind out of the gutter, people.
Garden and Guns heard the call. We have an email from Garden and Guns. Being a gun expert, as declared by Joe when commenting in the live chat, I'm trying to get my point across in the simplest terms possible, so people who don't know much about firearms can understand my point. Last week, when I was commenting about the TSBD employees' statements that the building shook, I knew there was no way this happened by the shooting of any small arms. Artillery, yes, would shake most buildings. A 105. Let me pause right here. Joe, while I'm reading this, do me a favor and see if you can find on YouTube somebody shooting a Carcano. Okay?
Someone shooting a Carcano?
Yeah.
Oh, just the gun. Okay.
Yeah, I want the sound of it.
Got it.
Okay.
Give me a minute.
Yeah, I got a book here to read, so I got nothing but time.
Great.
I was trying to express 6.5 Carcano is basically similar to an intermediate cartridge. Think AR or AK. Intermediate rifles have an effective range of 300 yards. Full-powered rifles have an effective range of 800 to 1,000. Effective range is determined by militaries all over the world as a maximum average distance that round from that particular rifle will drop a man. I was dumbing down this point when I stated that the report would sound closer to a 5.56 NATO than a 7.62 NATO. The firecracker sound, numerous witnesses stated, is the crack sound when a bullet breaks the sound barrier. Yes, a Carcano will be loud, especially within the under 20-foot distance from the 6th floor to the 5th floor open windows. However, it's not an especially loud rifle compared to all other World War II service rifles. It is one of the least loud. The only service rifles more quiet are the Japanese Ariska Type 30 and 38, 6.5 millimeter. Interesting to me is the Japanese downgraded from 7.7 to 6.5 Type 38 Arisaka for snipers because the 99 muzzle blast would stir up more dust and dirt, giving away the sniper's position. The intelligent researcher will notice the TSBD employees who were in the building that didn't hear anything and had to be told the president was shot by employees coming back into the building. Finally, if you are not law enforcement or military and you think there's someone with a firearm or any firearm shooting from inside the building, are you going to go inside that building? I have many military surplus rifles and own a Carcano, and I don't think it's a very good weapon for really anything, but I wouldn't want to be shot with one. It's really only been in recent years the reputation that the Carcano has improved, and I believe it's just the last surplus rifle available in a dried up surplus market, attracting new buyers who can't admit they bought a piece of crap. So thank you, Garden and Guns. Yeah, I mean, that's the question. If somebody has that barrel hanging out of the window sill and that rifle shoots in Dealey Plaza and you're standing directly under it on the street, or you're standing across the street from it, or you are one floor below it in another open window, it's going to sound like a freaking cannon went off. Joe, did you find?
I found a couple, yeah. It's not going to sound like a firecracker. And this actually came up on Quick Hits, too. Everyone was, how everyone described it sounding like a firecracker. Doug said he had heard that before. I mean, I feel like more than 50% of the people say it was a firecracker at first.
Yeah, that Carcano is not shooting a subsonic, bullet.
Yeah. Yo, you're gonna kill me. I have to go get my phone charger. My complete laptop charger. But I did found a few Manchester Mannlicher Carcano videos.
She's a Mannlicher.
I will share if my computer dies while I go upstairs and get it. I will be back in a second. So this guy tries to shoot 6 shots in 5.1 seconds. This guy says the Carcano M38. I think it's a 6.5 Carcano. There's a couple options here.
I'll just start with the first one. It's only a minute. Go get your charger.
Cool.
Quiet on set. Okay. Well, I would like to think that would be easy to hear. Like I said, if you're one floor below, or you're on the street, or you're across the street, that would be a no-brainer for me to hear that. Did you miss that, Joe?
I did miss it. How did it sound?
We can play it again real quick. Just start the video over. It's like 10 seconds.
Whoa, how many shots did he do there? 6 shots in 5 seconds?
Allegedly.
That was loud.
Yeah.
And this other guy next here says the rifle of Lee Harvey Oswald. We'll play a couple seconds of that. And yeah,
I saw that too, and I didn't. It didn't sound like that to me, Pungle.
Sorry, Ian. Boom. We got it.
I mean, that's a freaking cannon.
Rifle. Yeah, it's got to smoke some pot.
That's loud.
Yeah, we do. How about another 2-liter? Boom.
Yeah.
Well, a little, whatever that is, soap powder. It's a nice little round. It holds 6 rounds if you didn't notice.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes, I touched. Oh, no. It went through that.
All right.
That was loud.
That was really loud. Really loud.
So there you have it. That's the man liquor Caracano.
Yeah,
All
your
right.
ears would ring if you were if it was sticking out the window, the barrel, and you were the 3 African American employees a few feet under.
Right.
But
You're hearing that, man. You're not just feeling a little dust fall on your head and hearing a shell drop on the floor, but you're not hearing that bullshit.
we're good, TD. Don't worry. JOEB, check your Facebook.
All right, next up we got one from Sally. Sally!
Nice.
Evening, lads. Happy belated 4th. Hope you had a good one. So a question for you, not to stir the shite. Is there anything about the assassination that you two don't agree on? Mwah. Sally from across the pond. Joe, is there anything that we don't agree on? There's actually a lot more than you think we don't agree on. I don't know if particularly, just maybe some general things.
I'm trying to think. I mean, when we went through, for example, like the John T. Martin or James Herbert Martin things that took us months and months, we had very different opinions on it, and we found out more information as we went along. I believe John T. Martin, I'm trying to think what aspect of him. Oh, I think it was.
I really had to sell Joe on my. Okay, he went to talk to Walker, and Walker tells him to go to New Orleans and blah blah blah. And then Bannister says, "Go film this," type of thing, and Joe was a little pushing back on that theory. And maybe he still doesn't like that theory. I don't know.
No, was it with his? Do we disagree on whether he was with his family or not? That was it. I was like, "Yo, it's 1963. He would have been able to, I guess, take a short flight, right? He didn't drive through like Shreveport to take a short flight without his parents. Did they go with him? I think we argued about that for a while, but that's what Rob and I do. I mean, we just come at it from different points, and we just settle on the most logical. And
sometimes we don't see eye to eye on everything, which is good because
that'd be boring.
It would be boring if we did, But in a general sense, we agree on most things. Again, doing the type of show that we do that is document based, that's not just me or Joe sitting up here and telling stories like some shows. It's hard to argue with testimony and documents and evidence and established facts and undeniable things. So that's what we try to bring you.
That's right.
Factual, document-based research that's hard to argue with for a reason.
Yeah, and I think we sometimes differ on the way we interpret a certain document, right? Like we'll know what the document says, but there might be little aspects in which we disagree on. But I could tell you, if you listen to our private messages, you would probably be like, yeah, you guys don't agree on everything.
Well, Mr. Hemming is in the house.
Oh.
What's up, brother?
How are you, sir?
In case you didn't know, that is one of our favorite characters, Jerry Patrick Hemming's son, Philippe. Hemming is in the house, also star of episode 85 of the Lone Gunman podcast, the first ever live one.
Yes.
It's a doozy.
It's a great one.
Yes.
If you want to binge an old show, definitely go down to the first live.
Absolutely. All right. You ready for another email, Joseph?
Of course.
Okay. This comes from Paula Jane. PJ.
Yeah.
Do you have a podcast about Jerry or June Cobb? Well, Paula, that's a very good question. The answer is no, we don't yet, being the key word here. Your friend and ours, Big Bad John from Seattle, was nice enough to send me a copy of Mary Haverstick's new book, A Woman I Knew, or A Woman I Know. And it is currently in the rotation. I think it's going to be one of the next ones I get to. So I promise you we will have a show on this coming up, because I think an interview with the author is a little biased. I think it needs a more removed eyeball, and that's what we're going to give it. So it will be coming up in the near future, Paula, PJ. For sure.
Yep.
All right, next up we have a question from Tiny Dance Eye.
Ah.
Hey, Rob, remember Lone Gunman podcast show number 133? No, I don't. They're all a blur. But she does clarify, thankfully. The Acme Building and Maintenance with Tim Yacarino show.
Oh, one of my favorites. You know this.
It's one of Joe's favorite shows.
It's a great example of someone that took something no one's ever looked into and did a shitload of research on it. Fascinating.
Yes. He said he was going to post a guest list for the luncheon at the Trade Mart. 2,600 people were invited to the luncheon. Do you know if he ever made the list available? I will, and I'm kind of changing your wording there a little bit, TD. Not that I know of. In fact, that dude has dropped off the face of the earth. I do believe he's still a Facebook friend of mine. But honestly, I haven't talked to the dude since the show. So, yeah, he is still a friend of mine. It looks like he is doing quite well. Wait a minute. I was going to say, it looks like he got his ass beat here.
He's doing well. He got his ass beat.
Well, I mean, what do you think?
Is it Halloween?
No.
It could have been sunburn. I don't know. I couldn't see it well.
They're in a cupcake. Looks like they're in a bakery. So that just may be icing. I don't know. But it looks like he found a beautiful bride. We joke with him. But definitely a good dude. And then maybe I'll need to reach out to him and see if he is still on. Because, I mean, he's a fairly young looking dude. And it's probably been, what, God, at least 5 years since then. So maybe it's worth another reach out and see what he's up to. But yeah, he's a cool dude and definitely good research. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that episode actually because it's been a while.
You should. It's a banger, as they say these days.
It's a banger.
Let's see. Let's James.
He
said,
still doesn't contain any facts.
Who?
Scott Kaiser.
Oh, the last chapter of the Haverstick book is a wild Hail Mary, but the rest of the book is mind blowing. Okay.
If true, you know, one thing I always want to remember, and whether or not you are a fan of his research or not, but I believe, what was his name, Joe? I'm drawing a blank. Not
Who's
out of
name?
the blank.
Robbie?
No.
What?
H.P. Albarelli. That's it.
Oh.
I believe he spent a lot of time with June Cobb in North Carolina. Like so much so that she was like the godmother of his kid or something.
Really?
So it seems odd to me that an investigative person like that to be that close with June Cobb wouldn't know this story about Jerry Cobb and possibly what was going on here and there and everywhere. I don't know. It's an interesting supposition.
Yeah, and kind of like Weisberg was super close to Hall, wasn't he? No? Maybe not in the same way, but...
Yeah, not necessarily the same way, but he was friendly with him. But I know he didn't trust him. Hence the whole black bag jobs. But and I think moving up into the late 70s, he definitely didn't want anything to do with them after the HSCA.
Thank you, Red Phillips. Wish I wasn't
boy.
at work and you could join you boys and the other TLG fans. Have a good one watching when I get home. Well,
Thank you, Red.
we will see you soon. And thank you again for the super chat. And have a good rest of your work day or shift.
Oh, I'm getting a call right now from Alex Harris. Should I answer it?
Yeah, you have to.
Okay.
You
Hold on.
just preface it. Tell them we're live.
Hello.
Hey,
What's up, Alex? You are live on the Lone Gunman podcast, my friend. What is happening?
a lot.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, would you like to update the people? What's going on, brother?
absolutely. I just got word today, and I got these today. I have the Mexico City tapes from the CIA.
I saw that. You started uploading a couple of them. Do you
Yeah.
have relevant dates?
Yes,
You do.
I have the dates. I have which embassy they came from. I have most of the information that's with them.
Do you have the ones supposedly dating back to September or October?
I don't think that far, no, but I have, there's some from November 22nd.
Oh, that'd be some interesting chatter to listen to.
Yeah, maybe before that, but I haven't seen any yet.
Interesting. Interesting.
There's 193 total.
Good Lord.
Yep. Oh,
So it's going to take a while to get them all up, but I'm certainly trying.
Yeah, no doubt. Probably going to take a while.
Yeah.
Rob and Alex,
But yeah, it's been really interesting. I've been contacted by a number of people since this morning. Jefferson Morley, Larry Hancock, both of them asked me questions about it.
Yeah, I bet you're gonna have people banging your door down, brother. Because something new like that doesn't come across very often, and
yeah,
I don't know how you got them. I don't want to know, and you probably wouldn't tell me if you did. But it's awesome that you do have them and that you're making them public for sure.
I mean, if we're on air right now, I don't want to say.
Yeah, no. Zip.
Yep. And Alex, I did.
Like to give away my sources for stuff like this, but they are coming from a very, very reputable source.
Awesome. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, Alex.
Joe has a question for you. Joe, he can't hear you, so just ask me and I'll ask him.
Okay, I was just going to mention that when you stepped away for a second, I did mention the 193 videos and the translator request and all that. So,
yeah, we did put it out here for everybody to check out your channel and the whole interpreter request, or if people could understand what they're hearing on there to get to reach out with you
and that's partially why I wanted to talk about this on here, is because I need someone who can translate them from the Russian and Spanish into English.
Yeah, for sure. You probably have better luck with the Spanish than the Russian, but some people may know both out there. Who knows?
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's awesome. They can reach out to you at the jfktheorist@gmail.com. Is that right?
The JFK Theorist Mail at gmail.com.
The JFK Theorist Mail.
Yep.
At gmail.com.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
So folks, if you'd like to help Alex out, and if you'd like to listen to these Mexico City tapes, head over to the JFK Theorist channel on YouTube and check them out. Alex, thanks so much for checking in with us, brother.
Yeah. No problem.
Thank you.
Right,
Thank you, Alex.
Have a good weekend.
You too.
All right. See ya.
See ya.
And just like that, folks, that's how it is being a JFK researcher. You get wild calls all the time from the craziest of people. No, it's awesome. I mean, you can't get any more live than that,
It's true.
And it's kind of a big deal. So,
if Hancock and Morley both reached out to him today, that's a big. I mean, it's not a big deal, right? And that it's a lot of videos. It's going to take a lot of work. It's not just going to be listening to something for an hour and transcribing. It's going to be hours and hours and dozens, and maybe it's going to be a lot of work, but it's going to reveal new information in this 61-year-old case almost, right? And that's really cool that new stuff is coming out. Unfortunately, there hasn't been new documents released since I believe June or April of last year, or May. But so cool. Great that this is coming out. I love it. Love the collaboration of the rational wing, the research wing of the JFK assassination.
yeah, for sure. Sure. All right, there, Joe. That's it. My email bag is dry.
Okay.
Which
so you
not
you
bad.
you briefly mentioned Irvin Ralph's email. I was just going to read the first part of it, if you don't
Okay.
mind. And this
And
was
that's Lee. It's Lee.
Lee Ralph?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just. Oh, yeah. I see that.
I mean, you don't have to blow him up. But yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. Big fan of your podcast. I listen to the show while at work, and I've listened to every episode. As a researcher myself, I enjoy that you and Joe dig into the facts and cut through the BS, not just repeating someone else's research, as many podcasts do. And then he goes on. He mentioned he's a researcher on a different topic, book about the Bloody Benders entitled Hell Comes to Play, the true untold story of America's mass murdering family, the Bloody Benders. And he offered to send us a copy, as you mentioned, and thank you, Lee. We appreciate it. We'll get back to you.
Yes.
And yeah, we already looked at Tiny Dancer's email. What are you laughing at? Carlos Bernier could translate that shit.
Sí, señor.
Yeah. It's going to be fascinating to see what that yields, and I don't think we're going to see or hear.
Me think Oswaldo want to chupa my pinga.
I don't think we're going to hear Lee Harvey Oswald in there, because I think if he was on those tapes, it would have been out a long time ago, right? Because that would have been their narrative. It would have backed it up even more.
But there may be some chatter about the assassination, which could be interesting coming from the Russian and Cuban embassy, depending on who they're talking to.
For sure.
But of course, they would have known that their phones are tapped. So who knows what is on these tapes? But
yeah, I bet some AMOTs are on those tapes, for sure. And you got to wonder if Win Scott is on there. No, it wouldn't be. He wouldn't be calling those embassies. But
yeah, that's right. Philippe Oswald did go to the Cuban embassy in L.A. because I think that's where
his dad
saw him.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was before he went to Russia, I believe, when he was stationed in California.
Yes.
So it's some pretty cool things happening this week, Rob. It's exciting times in the JFKA community.
All kinds of good stuff. Yeah, I keep forgetting. I forget who. I think it was Sally I was talking to on Twitter. Was wondering about the Minox camera roll that freaking AJ Weberman got developed and published in his book, The Oswald Code. I keep forgetting to grab it and get like some pictures ready. I just don't want to hold the book up. You know what I mean? I'd like to take some pictures of the pictures so we can actually see them on here.
Right.
Maybe I'll do that for the next episode.
Okay.
That would be pretty sweet.
That would be.
Pretty sweet.
So yeah, let us know if anyone has any questions here. We got 44 people in the chat, almost 47, Rob.
Yes, 44 is almost 47. At least where I live. We call that close enough, Joe.
Yeah, I really liked some of those answers from the fun question of where would you be for 5 minutes as a time traveler. We got some good answers out of that.
Yeah, I mean, just about anywhere on that day you could figure something out. But, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was Sally. Next week, Sally, I promise I will do my due diligence and get some pictures ready that we can actually show on here, so we're not looking at an open book.
Outside General Walker's house, Trey says. When would you be outside General Walker's house, sir? And we got a question from south to west here.
Probably April 10th, allegedly.
Mm-hmm. Or when maybe Fidel went to go visit him, right? To be a fly on the wall for that.
I was just sitting here at my desk. The next thing I know, boom. Goddamn bullet come through the window and the wall behind me. I'm just trying to do my taxes.
South to west. Question. Is the most reasonable position that Oswald isn't innocent, but he didn't act alone? So that would imply that he was somehow
involved.
somehow involved.
But he didn't act alone. It's possible. I don't know if it's the most reasonable explanation, but it's certainly possible. Because we still don't know where Oswald was at the time of the shot. Definitively.
Yeah.
We can argue about it, but nobody definitively knows.
Yep. And someone said behind Prayer Man to debunk him. I don't think we talked about that. But that would be a great place to.
You cannot debunk, and Bart would cry.
Yeah, it's.
Let's see where Philippe would be. He want to be in the room with whoever the $250,000 contract for the job went to. Yeah, that would be interesting. The question is, who took that $250K, Mr. Hemming?
Yo, how about that meeting with Roselli, Hall,
Giancana,
and
Martino?
Was it Harvey? Yeah, that would be a great 5 fucking minutes, bro.
Yeah. And that might be what he's talking about.
I think so. And just to answer, who was it? It was South to West's. I don't know. Gun to my head, did he take a shot or not? I would say no. Gun to my head, but I don't know.
Okay, South to West. I asked because I love the interview Triple B did with the author of Malcontent, Sean Grella. He was a former, or I think he was a former cop, maybe a current cop. I don't know. He was analyzing Oswald's odd behavior, which is, it was a good episode, But again, there's points and counterpoints to a lot of what he brought up, when you're trying to read body language and vocal stress, physical signs of stress, indications of lying, just all kinds of stuff. It's very subjective. But, it is what it is.
Your dad was a badass, Philippe. I agree.
Damn straight.
I mean, he survived.
Yeah, he was definitely a survivor.
And if you really want to have an interesting 4 or 5, I don't know how long the AJ Weberman thing is on YouTube. It's there. You could find it. It's hours long. And it's very hard to follow if you don't have the specific context. But if you do, it's fascinating.
Yeah, or a pretty comprehensive knowledge of, how things were going back then, certain operations, Cubans.
Well, he founded Interpen, did he not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Intercontinental Penetration Force.
Yeah. And
is that trademarked? Can we make T-shirts that say that?
I bet we could, bro. I doubt that's trademarked. We might have to give Philippe like a 5 or 10% cut.
Yeah, we'll give him a cut.
Bro, that's a great merch idea. Interpen. Oh, that's epic. We got to work on that. I would wear that shirt all day.
Joe, here's a question for you from Big Mike. Would y'all have had relations with Marina in 62 or 63?
Yes.
I'm going to go... I'm more of a 65 to 67 guy. Just saying.
I've heard some things you said to me privately that you would be down.
Yeah, later. She's pretty homely looking. I mean,
But that's like the look back then.
Yeah, but she got a little sexier as the 60s went on.
She got more money.
And then the 70s hit. No. We don't like Marina with a butt cut mullet. You know.
I would 100%. Definitely 62, 63 would be before James Herbert Martin. It'd be before the other Secret Service guy. It'd be before Kenneth Porter. For sure. And I'd make it happen in the Six Flags Motel.
Southwest. After Marina got her teeth fixed.
There you go.
Hey, you never know.
Yeah.
Sometimes teeth are a bad thing. Not that I would know or anything.
Yeah. I feel like she's the one that would like use some teeth. You'd be like, yo, ow. That's why this is the fun Long Gunman show here.
All right. Deco 39. I guess it's just me. I don't know. But when I watch the Z film, a headshot looks like the president's face actually comes off. I've always seen that when I watch it. I've never heard anyone with the same opinion. Well, you know, if you go and you look at like the 4K version that was out on YouTube, I think it should be still out there. The orange blob, as I call it, is, I think it's just an effect of the bullet ripping through his head, and I don't know. It's hard to explain. I mean, nobody really knows for sure because you look at the autopsy photos and you think, you know, well, damn it, his face is intact, he still looks good, but in the Z film, it looks like half his face explodes. The orange blob thing. So was it painted in or added later? Or, you know, who knows? There's people that believe the Z film wasn't altered, that it was altered, and I think there's facts to support both opinions for sure. And I'm open to listen. I don't really don't have a dog in the fight either way. But yeah,
especially when when the blood kind of shoots up in the mist. And the car is moving at whatever miles an hour, it's going to go back a little bit, which is why some of them are.
Jeff has entered the chat.
Whoa. I have to be on a scooter, no?
A wrecking scooter, just like the T-shirt. We have the artwork already, Jeff. For sure. or we could do a Jack Ruby themed. He would just eat them and stuff hot sauce.
Yes.
But Jeff, I think a Joey Scars would be a good one.
That would be a really good one. I'd be among
Joey Scars, brain damage, scooter juice.
Yes. And we gave a nice shout out earlier, Jeff, and I actually tried some Killer Hot for the first time live in the beginning of the show with quesadilla I had, and it was hot, and I accidentally poured too much on, and Rob was like, "Oh, you're gonna die," and I survived. And thank you again. I have bottles all lined up here, so appreciate it again, buddy.
Yeah, the question, Philippe, is whether or not it damaged his face, like the orange blob in the Zapruder film. I understand his head exploded, but did it come out the back or the side? Or what are we looking at here? It's just hard to tell.
Yeah, it did look like there was a flap almost, right? But in like a picture of the autopsy, it would be like not flapped over, I guess. Hot sauce explosion, yes.
Oh. Yeah. Johnson 30-06. Mm-hmm. You know this man.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was going to say yes, Bethesda, Colleen said there was no brain.
Right.
And there was blood and some, I think, tissue on, was it BJ Martin, the motorcycle Martin that we had looked into, we had found his statements, and it wasn't apparent to him at first, but when he got to Parkland, he did realize it was on his bike, and he was to the back left, right? Because Hargis was on the right. If you're kind of face behind JFK.
No, Hargis was on the left and Martin was on the right.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Booyah! Ding, 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 a ring a ding, ding. Thank you, Perpetual Concepts.
Thank you.
I had to drop this super chat while golfing in 105-degree weather in California. Brain matters. Dude is melting in Cali, in the Death Valley, playing golf. God bless you.
I respect that. Hey, what are you shooting? What's your handicap? Is your handicap better than Trump or Biden's at 6 or 8?
He's a 69er, Joe. Of course. Why wouldn't he be?
Yeah, and we don't get into politics on this show, but that back and forth about the golf and the handicaps was the funniest part of that debate by far. I've been looking back on the motorcycle aspect.
Oh boy. I'm going to answer this for you, Cat Daddy Steve. Yes. I believe I addressed this way, BJ, before Joe. I actually used to talk to this dude on a somewhat regular basis many years ago. What, 10, 15 years ago? Something like that. And I thought he was doing good work until he got exposed for faking photographic images, which is a shame. You know, I know the dude was into like Bigfoot and all and UFOs and all this other stuff too, but yeah, he got caught faking a photo of I think it was a 6th floor window, putting an image of Oswald standing in behind the window and claiming it was some authentic photo that he had enhanced or something, but it was actually a shot of Oswald from after he was arrested that he had like flipped and cropped and made somewhat opaque and put behind a window and like the PAL photo or something. I don't know.
Yeah. That won't do well for your other videos and pictures then, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, your credibility at that point is shot. Because if you fake that, what else have you been faking? And he had this other dude working with him that was colorizing photos and things like that. And I just couldn't pay attention to him anymore. And, you know, sad what happened to the guy. And, but hey. All right, Jeff. Sounds good, my friend.
Yep.
His handicap is an 8, Joe.
Whoa. That is good. That is good.
And that's while he's drunk.
So,
apparently.
Yeah, so he has the same handicap as Biden said he had. Who do you think would win? Perpetual Concepts or Biden?
I think Biden's handicapped. Okay.
Oh, man.
Yes, Sally, he passed away. Yes.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the rest of your round, Perpetual Concepts, and thank you again for the super chat. Love to play with you sometime. I am not even close to any.
And not in a gay way.
God.
All right, folks, you got anything else? People, Joe, you got anything else?
No. I just want to thank everyone for coming to hang on this Friday night after the 4th of July. We had some fun and, you know, we covered some funny topics. We got some breaking news, some live calls, exciting stuff coming.
Yeah, lots of famous folks coming to visit in the chats. We had Doug Campbell,
Yeah.
Jeff from Silk City, Philippe Hemming. I mean, come on, what more star-studded episode 4th of July extravaganza do you want from us people? Come on now.
And all the regulars who show up every week. We love it. We love all you. You know who you are.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. We love doing this, and we figured it'd be a fun episode to just hang out and shoot the breeze for once and have a limited hangout. Whatever that may mean. I know what it means. Sometimes we get called limited hangouts. But I don't think we will. I can think of some people who might be, but I'll be nice.
4th of July weekend.
Yeah, happy Independence Day, everybody. And what did Doug say?
About what?
Something about Custer?
Oh, yeah, happy Custer Day? Or happy, God, like...
Yeah, I forget what he said.
Go to his Facebook and find out.
Beverly Hills Cop. Yes, the new one just got released on Netflix.
That Custer died for your sins.
Yes. Custer and someone.
Kennedy.
Who?
Kennedy. That's what he told
Yes,
us.
Custer and Kennedy died for your sins. And do what Philippe says. Go hit the thumbs up button if you're not. Well, you have to be subscribed to be commenting. So thank you everybody for hanging out with us here again. And we'll be back next week with another exciting episode of the Lone Gunman Podcast. That's right.
Back to the docks we will go.
And not the Boondocks, apparently.
Never know.
Damn it, where's our outro, Joe? Why isn't it looping?
I don't know. We always talk through it, but I love it. So listening to it the second time, it's all right.
Lee Henry Oswald said he was going to make us a longer outro so we wouldn't have to loop it. But I told him no rush because we can loop it in the meantime. So in the near future, we shall have a longer outro. A nice, low, soft, acoustic piece to talk over. Right, Roger? He loves doing the soft and acoustic things. I'm joking. But he does it for us because he loves us.
I play this song sometimes just on my own.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for us. Once again, thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace. And
Silk City grease. What you think about that?
and some quiche.